Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, I'm bringing you a brand new batch of Christmas decorating ideas and DIYs. I'm going to be sharing with you over 10 Christmas DIYs that are super easy to make, on a budget, and I know you're going to love them. Some of these DIYs are some of my favorite ones that I've done my whole career, and I cannot wait for you to see them. Also, I want to mention that there's going to be a video down below with over 20 Christmas DIYs that you need to watch from last year. I'm going to link that below so you can check it out after this one. As I was telling you, I'm super excited because this video is jam-packed with Christmas decorating ideas, DIYs, tips, tricks, and hacks to help you in decorating your home for the holiday season. So if you are interested in making DIYs for Christmas and decorating ideas, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video with your friends on Instagram, on Facebook, and on WhatsApp because it is free and it really helps the channel. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And while you subscribe, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss what's coming up for the Christmas season 2023. Are you ready to get your crafting and DIYing on? Well, let's go to the studio where I'm going to share with you a plethora of gorgeous Christmas DIYs for your Christmas decorating this year. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, so for this next Christmas DIY on a budget, what I want to share with you is how to create a super cute rustic arrangement for around your home. You can put this on your entryway table, on your coffee table, and your bedroom is going to be super cute. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of these sprigs. You guys know that I like to buy greenery just about anywhere. Walmart, Hobby Lobby, high-end stores, Shinoda Design Center. I know David Christopher has some really good ones. And so what I'm doing is I'm cutting some of these clippings, just making as many as I can. And the way you do that is you cut at the joint and you just make them short. Like this one right here is too long for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there in the joint, just make it smaller. And this one right here as well. My wire cutters are getting, I think they have some glue in it. They're getting stuck. They're getting tired. They're like, Ramon, this season has been too long. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start by telling you that this is a beautiful container that I had that actually belongs to my mom. And I put some foam in there. It doesn't really matter how you put it because we're going to cover most of it. So we're gonna start inserting some of this greenery. Remember, what happens on the left happens on the right. And what I like to do is I just like to add the corners first, like this. And then I put one in the middle, like this, to kind of define my height. And so now I start inserting all throughout. And it really helps if you spin it around like this, because you want to make sure that there is greenery all throughout and as close as you can to the foam so you can start hiding that foam. Because that's like your goal, is to hide that mechanic. So I'm gonna add one right here. And this one, once again, is a little too long for my taste, so I'm gonna cut it in two. And then I'm going to go right here in the middle and also right here. So this is our basic greenery, and as you guys can see, it's all the way around. And by doing what happens on the right happens on the left, you have a very well round arrangement, greenery arrangement. So now what I have is these beautiful, beautiful picks that are going to be the stars of the show. They come with this magnolia that I am obsessed with, and this red berry, and look how much of it you get if you just fluff it, you guys. This is from Hobby Lobby, and so what we're going to do is we're gonna open one like this. We're gonna cut a little bit because it's a little too long for my taste, and then we're going to insert as far down, letting that magnolia really spill forward, letting that pine really fill in. Once again, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cut right here. I'm gonna open a little bit. Now I'm gonna go opposite direction than that one, like that. And then once you insert on an angle, you pull down to make that magnolia really spill back. So I'm gonna do another one real quick. So you have to fluff every single wire there is, okay? And like this. And by the way, thumbs up for Jameson, you guys. He continues to work behind the camera. Come over here, say hi. He continues to work behind the camera. He's been an expert. Which one is your favorite DIY that we've done so far?
There's so many.
Trees, garlands, wreaths. Which one do you like the best?
Probably the colorful wreath.
The colorful wreath was so much fun, you guys. And actually, Jameson chose that one. Unfortunately, now is sold from our Etsy shop. And thank you to the lady who bought it.
Yes,
we really appreciate it. Is something you want to say to the public?
We're full swing and we are ready to rock and roll. We're going.
We're going. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jamison, for all of his help. What I love about this one also, you guys, is the little berry. It adds a punch of color. So I'm gonna add this one right here. And this I'm going to add as close as I can to the rim of the container. And that's gonna help me cover some of that foam as well. All right, so we have the last one. And I just wanna share with you how quick it really is to create a beautiful rustic arrangement for your home this holiday season. This berry, I'm going to see if I can take out. No, I can't, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't wanna destroy it. All right, so I'm gonna cut a little bit of that stem as well. And I'm going to add as close as I can to the rim of the container. And that's going to be soft. Look at that, I could stop right there. This is really pretty, but who are we kidding, right? This is Ramon at home. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of these poinsettias from Hobby Lobby, and they have these really cute rusty bells in the middle. I'm obsessed with it. On this one, so I'm gonna cut just a little bit of it, and I'm going to go right here on this corner, and remember to insert at an angle like this, and go all the way down to press your poinsettia like that. So now I'm going to go the opposite direction. Remember, what goes on the left happens on the right. What goes up must always come down. That is actually the law of gravity. I thought I invented it myself, but apparently there was a famous gentleman so many years ago that came up with that. All right, so I'm going to insert right here, like that. Look how cute that is. So adorable. You would think I would stop right there, but what would a Ramon at home arrangement would be without a bow? So for that, I'm going to bring this cute burlap ribbon. Believe it or not, you guys, this is from the dollar store. You know, I'm not afraid to mix me some expensive and inexpensive items. So for that, I'm going to grab my burlap with a ho, 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 joy, joy, joy. I'm gonna give myself a cute tail like this. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna move this a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Down, flip, because this one does have a script. Down, flip, another bow, gather, 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 pinch, flip. And at this point, you have to start creating almost like an X, like this. Pull all of your tails. We're gonna do a few more because I wanna use all of this ribbon. I want it to really cover some of that perimeter. I'm gonna go right there. So six loops right here. Then I'm gonna grab a skewer, and you know I'm always telling you, you can find this at your local Hobby Lobby or Walmart on the florist department. This is a florist tool, but they already sell these skewers with a wire, and what you do is just ravel that wire around, and that gives you a pick. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna cut right here, and I'm going to grab all of this like this, and I'm going to find a place where I want it. So I want it on this side right here. And I'm going to insert my pick at an angle like this, all the way down to add a bow. I'm going to cut this tail real quick, like this, a little bit shorter, but I do want it to come down like that. And this one as well. Be sure to put the script forward by twisting it, like this. Fluff your cute little bow. So we have a bow on this side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab me some wire S's. Like I told you before, we make these wire S's by cutting some wire. I'll share with you real quick. So you cut a wire in half, and then you bend down like this, and you create kind of like a bobby pin, and you close it, and you grab your ornament, and you put that bobby pin through the ornament right here. So you have this hook, then you really close it like that. And so what you want to do is you want to grab, this is basically your stem. So you're gonna go in here, and then you insert that into the foam like that. And so that's going to hold your ornament right there. And we're going to do another one with this little one right here, but this particular one, I'm going to close right here, and I want it to dangle like that off of the rim of my container. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go at an angle. I'm gonna open right here and do a drop. Look for some foam. I lost my ornament. Hang on a second. I pull so hard that, you know, they come off. I have not glued this one. So basically what you want to do is hang on to the, you know, the best thing to do would be to just glue it at this point. But you look for that foam, and then you insert your ornament like that. And now look at that. So you have this beautiful arrangement that it was super easy to make and affordable, you guys. So if you too follow the steps on how to create a gorgeous arrangement, you can have this for just a few dollars this holiday season. All right, so now I'm gonna get ready for the next DIY. I know you're gonna love it. Keep watching. All right, so I wanted to give you a quick close-up of this really cute arrangement for your home. It is done on this rustic looking container, and as you guys can see, all the pines and the magnolias and the beautiful check poinsettias with a jute edge and the bow. You guys, look how sweet that bow is. And also the gold ornaments right here. They're just focal points for your home this holiday season. If you follow the instructions on how to create a gorgeous arrangement, you too can have something that is so easy to make, super striking, and so beautiful in your home this holiday season. Are you guys enjoying this video? If you are, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp, so they too can come and join the fun this Christmas and holiday season. You guys, we still have a lot of DIYs coming your way. If you are subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss, especially what's coming next. So for this DIY, what we're going to do is we're going to do a handheld swag for your front door. It's going to be super fun. This is one of my favorite things to do because it is fun, easy, and super quick. If I can just find this tape. You guys, I need to tape my wire. You know that I like to use this 24 gauge. Was it 24 gauge? The ones that but yeah, 24 gauge wire. And so what you do is you grab your little tape, you put it right here on your finger, you roll the top, and then you pull the tape down and spin. Because what happens is that the tackiness of the wax paper becomes an adhesive and it adheres to your wire. Now, the reason why we tape the wires is because it won't hurt your fingers. If you are doing decorating homes for Christmas, or if you're doing floral arrangements or swags or wreaths and you put a hanger on it, this is the perfect way to do it. And you can find your florist tape anywhere where floral supplies are sold. All right, so now that I have my wire taped like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this right here, and this is a bow that we had from our mantle that we did. You guys remember the Barbie Christmas tree and mantle that we did? It's been so much fun. This theme from David Christopher's. All of these materials are from David Christopher's, and remember, you get 10% off with the code Ramon10. So I'm gonna grab this bow right here. I'm gonna set it down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this black and white ribbon, and I'm going to make a cute little bow just with a long tail like this. And remember to always bring this tail forward. So now I'm gonna grab a little bit of this beautiful velvet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing but opposite. So now I want the shorter tail going down. I'm gonna pinch right here, and I'm going to make my loop go up, and then I'm going to have this longer tail hang down like that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab the wire that I taped, and I'm gonna wire these guys together, making sure that I have equal amounts of florist tape on my hand, and I'm gonna spin around like that. I spinned it twice, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my larger bow, and I'm going to attach all of this together like this, and that way we can give him a little bit of a fluff. But let me tie it first. So really tightly, you pull really tight to the back, and then you spin once or twice like that. And so now you're gonna be left with this, which we still need, so be sure not to cut the excess ribbon. All right, so now we have our cute loopy bows like this, and we're gonna give them a little bit of a fluff like that. They're longer tails, so I'm gonna put that to the side for now. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna assemble a swag, and I have this gorgeous collection of David Christopher stamps. You guys, if you are a wreath maker or swag maker or centerpiece maker and you make them for sales, I really do recommend to check out David Christopher's because he really does have some of the best flyaways in the industry. So be sure to check out their website and take advantage of that code if you do this for a living. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab the longest one, which is this guy right here, and then I'm going to layer this stem that has these packages. Look how absolutely cute this is. Not cute. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lift up those packages. We're going to make them fly away. And then I'm going to add this, the second longest one, which is going to be this baby pink one. And I'm going to put it right here. So at this point, they're all about the same height. Then I'm going to grab this other fuchsia, and I'm going to now put it right here. like this. Never letting go of your core. Remember, where you hold, that is your core. You want to hold it the whole time until you zip tie it together, because otherwise you are going to lose the shape of your swag. So I'm going to insert this black and white. Then I have another black and white, but this time I'm going to put it upside down like this. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a zip tie, and I'm going to zip tie all of this together. Super simple and super easy to make. This is something that you can make in any theme that you're making. I just happen to have this black and white and pink available, but this will look so gorgeous with traditional colors, red, gold, silver, or with the frosty ones, white and silver, and some accent colors. You pull really, really tight. So now I'm gonna grab my wire cutters. I don't know where I left my little cloth. I tried to be organized, you guys, but there is no way to be organized and be creative at the same time. I've tried it. Every single creative that I know of, we're all the same way. We're just a hot mess. All right, so now I'm gonna grab my bow right here, and I'm going to put my bow right where my core is. So if you notice, I've never let go. So now I'm gonna grab this wire, and I'm gonna go back, and very tightly, I'm going to spin around once or twice. And the leftover, what you're going to do, just gonna make a loop like this to hang on your door. So that's gonna be where we hang from. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fluff these ribbons. All right, you guys, so I decided to share with you real quick how we're going to do this. So I have two ornaments that are already pre-wired. So what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna layer one on top of the other one, and then I'm going to sew all those wires together. And this is how you make a cluster. Just continue to move on up, and then just twist those wires together like this. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna enter right here, and I'm going to go around my swag and wire this together like this. I'm gonna bring that loop up like that. So now at this point also, what you need to do is you need to readjust all of your bows and your loops and your tails. It's gonna cut right here at an angle. So now I'm gonna put this on the door and share with you another result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so before I share what it looks like on the door, Jamison did have a question about this particular DIY. What is your question?
So for me, my question was, because you don't have a traditional backing of a wreath, swag, anything to attach it to, what do you call this style?
All right, so because we don't have a wreath form or a swag form to work on, these are what I call handheld swags, which means that everything that you do it on your hand. You assemble it in your hand instead of having a wreath form or a swag to assemble on. And they are super easy to make. As you guys can see, they're super gorgeous. And this is something that you can also use a dual DIY purpose. It could be to hang it on a window, on a door, or even on a top of a lantern, which we'll be doing later. Does that answer your question?
Yes, exactly.
All right, well, let's take it to the door.
Let's do it. Let's go.
You guys, look how elegant this beautiful swag looks like on the door. And as you can see, there is not very many elements, but these little package stems that comes with the 3 little packages is super cute. The ornament, the fuchsia and the bubblegum pink, along with the black and white ribbons, it is just so creative and so beautiful. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Be sure to give it a try yourself, because you will be shocked at how beautiful this can look. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate if you give the video a thumbs up and share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp to let them know what we're doing here at Ramon at Home for the Christmas season 2023. So far, I'm having a blast sharing these videos with you, and I cannot wait to see what's next. All right, so for this next Christmas DIY, what I want to do is I'm going to do a candlestick. Who doesn't like a candlestick decorated for Christmas, right? So I have these beautiful mercury glass candles that came from Ross, apparently for $7.99. And then at the dollar store, they sell this type of foam, you guys. This is perfect for this type of arrangement. As you guys can see, if I flip it upside down, it fits perfectly on my candlestick. And actually, I could just press it down like that and look, it'll stick. But to be double secure, what I want to do, so I'm gonna grab some of my florist see-through tape, and I'm just gonna go around my candle one time just to make sure that it's going to stay where I want it. actually, let me make sure that, there you go. Very tightly, so that way it's not going to come crashing down. I'm gonna grab my scissors over here. And you can find this clear see-through tape at any local craft place. It is a florist product. This is what we use in the industry. We're doing fresh flowers because it does, it has a type of glue that allows you to glue on wet foam. So this is basically for wet foam. So there's that. So what we're going to do is we're gonna bring, I'm gonna put this over here actually. Our candle, I'm gonna share with you that we're gonna set the candle right there. We're gonna turn it on, but for this purpose, I'm gonna take off the candle first. We'll bring her back in the picture in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring some of my greeneries, and thumbs up for Jamison who came up with this cloth idea. So look, you don't hear it anymore. So that's what I'm gonna be putting my tools from now on. I'm gonna need them right now. All right, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is I have these cute little picks that came from Hobby Lobby, and they come like this. They come this stem right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut them a little bit shorter, and I'm just gonna go ahead and insert one right here. I think I have 4 of them, and look how long they are. So you do have to make sure that you cut them because we want to insert them as far into the foam as we can, like that. And then we're gonna give it a spin, and remember what happens on the right happens on the left, and then we give a little bit of a spin and we repeat our process one more time. We're gonna cut one more time, and then we're going to insert this guy right here. And you guys, look how these picks already have all of the product that you need. We're only going to be adding a few more things to make this a gorgeous candlestick. This can be down for an entryway table. Can you imagine like 4 of them on a tablescape? If you do 4 repeated on going down the table, it will be so beautiful. All right, so we're going to add then, I'm gonna exchange for this bucket right here. And I have some of these beautiful greeneries that I used on the owl wreath. Well, I have now some leftover greeneries. And so what I'm going to is I'm gonna cut a little bit short. And oh look, the paper just unraveled. So that's good, perfect. So I'm gonna cut a little bit short, and I'm gonna go like this, one like that. And I know I have a few, so then I'm gonna bring another one, and I'm gonna cut, and then I'm going to go one step down to have 2 in the same spot. And then what we're going to do is we're gonna grab another one, and we're only going to use 3. Remember, we work with sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. And this is what I mean by having a set of 3, because you can do 1 on one side, and then because we have to, whatever happens on the left happens on the right. And remember, they don't have to be the same. Like, you don't have to put yet another one over here, because what we'll do is we'll use another type of greenery. Let's see, which one do I like? I like this one right here. So we're gonna use this type of greenery, and then we're going to add this guy right here to have our second one. So now we have 2 and 2, but look how these right here, they're different. Well, here's the next tip I'm gonna give you. So now remember, sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. So now we have 2 on this side, 2 on this side. So now to make it uneven, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert another one of these flat cedars right here. Actually, this is not a flat cedar, this is a spruce. Like that. So now we have 1, 2, 3, now we have 2. And that's how we have to work with our container. Now here's another tip. You see this is really fat and fluffy, and I just absolutely love it. Well, what we're going to is we're gonna make 2 out of it, because these are too long for this particular centerpiece. So what you can do is cut them short like this. And so I'm going to insert first of all one right here, really close to my container. And then what you need to do is either with your scissors or just pull them out with your wire cutters. What we need to do is we need to get some of that wire exposed. And don't be afraid. I'm always telling you guys, do not be afraid to cut your stems. And then look at that. So that filled in. So now I'm gonna grab another one. I'm gonna cut this in half, because you already paid for it. So might as well just make the best use that you can out of it. I'm gonna go right here. Then I'm gonna, some of them you can just pull, but it's easier with the scissors. Look at that, they just fall right out, and that exposes that wire part. And so that's what we're going to do right here, like that. And let's see, what else do I want? I think I want some of these eucalyptus, and I'm gonna cut them a little bit shorter. And look, you guys, I have those bristles everywhere. You guys, I wish that you could see our house. There is glitter. In places glitter should never be allowed to be. Let me just put it that way. It's on the floor, it's on the carpets, it is on the toilet, it is everywhere, and it's just not going away. I know it's not gonna wait till probably March, because it does take a few times cleaning for you to be able to get rid of all of that glitter when you use that much glitter like we do here at Ramon at Home. All right, so now I'm filling in with just a few of these. You know, I have another one of these. Where do I want it? I just love this frosted eucalyptus. I'm gonna put this guy right here, like that. We're just gonna keep adding to it. I'm gonna add another, if I have another one, which I don't, so I'm gonna put it on the other side, but I do have more of these eucalyptus. We're just gonna keep adding some. Remember, what goes up must come down. So if you put some of the same element right here, make sure you put it up here. Then we're gonna spin around, then we're gonna add another one spilling down. So easy, right? All right, so I'm gonna put it right here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna get some berries. I'm gonna bring my other box back in. I'm gonna get some of these white berries that I just absolutely love to really give it that frosty feel, because I love berries during the holiday, whether they are red berries or white berries. And you know, I put all my stuff. This is how it usually works. Look how I'm using my little pad that is for my wire cutters, and I put it to, oh my gosh. All right, so now we're talking. I'm gonna use two like this, and remember, what goes up must come down. So some on the top, some on the bottom. Spin a little bit, and we're going to do that famous triangle that I love so much. One right here, one on the bottom, because I have 6. So instead of polka dotting them around, what I went ahead and did is I did a triangle, and I'll share with you real quick. Let me insert the last one over here, like this, and then I'm gonna put yet another one down on the bottom. Over on this side. So I have, the triangle goes like this. I don't know if you guys can see, but berry, berry, berry. And once again, what goes up must come down, so you make them spill down. All right, so now here's the fun part. I am going to grab this gorgeous ribbon that is from, I'm gonna put this guy to the side so you can see it. But this ribbon is a 0.75 of an inch. It is not even an inch, and I love it because this is perfect for this. So what we're going to do is we're gonna give it a long tail. And Jameson, will you pass me, do we have that? It's just right there, look. Up, the ribbon holder, right there. You guys give it up for Jameson, who is our helper, and he's been doing such a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Sometimes it just comes in handy to have this, because you don't have to make sure that you unravel it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make some really pretty big loopy bows. And like I said, this is a 0.75 of an inch, and you wanna make sure that you go like this. This ribbon, you guys, has got a lame red back, and it's just so cute. I also love it. I'm gonna do 2, 4, I'm gonna do one more, and then some long tails. We're gonna do, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cut it. All right, there you go. That is the problem with this thin ribbon, because it really ravels really bad. But look how loopy of a bow this is. And so now I'm gonna grab a wire from over here, and I'm going to wrap this together like this. And I'm going to cut right here. So we're gonna be left with this super cute bow. Look how absolutely cute this is. And a long tail right here. Be sure to fluff that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one of our S hooks that I'm always telling you guys you can make with wire. I'm gonna put it right here through it, like this. And then I'm gonna use this to insert somewhere onto my arrangement. And I think it's going to be right about here. So we're gonna insert this in, making sure that goes in, and then we just give it a cute little fluff like this. And I'm gonna cut at an angle, because it's so small, I don't really want to dovetail, it's just so tiny. We're gonna cut at an angle like that. We're gonna bring this tail a little bit down, like that, so it goes down. I'm gonna give this a quick fluff, and I'll share with you at the end result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so now all there is left to do is to turn our candle on with our little remote and check this out. Isn't this just absolutely whimsical and super cute? As I said, this is perfect for an entryway table, a mantelpiece, and even a set of 3 or 4 down a table for a tablescape. You too can create a super gorgeous and cute, so simple to make arrangement on a candlestick. And the cool thing about it is that everybody most everybody has some candlesticks laying around the house. So all you have to do is grab some leftover from the dollar store, add some leftover picks and stems that you may have laying around, a cute little bow and a candle, and you got yourself a super cute DIY for Christmas. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And now I'm gonna get ready for our next DIY. Keep watching. All right, everyone, so for this next Christmas DIY, what I wanna share with you is a gorgeous peacock wreath for your front door. A few weeks back, I shared with you how to create a gorgeous peacock tree that I love the way it turned out. Actually, let me give you a quick look. All right, everyone, so I wanna share with you the end result in this gorgeous peacock feather inspired Christmas tree, and I am just so in love with these colors. This purple and teal and lavender and pink really just go so well together, and it is super elegant. You guys, this ornament right here with all of the pearls and this velvet ornament, and then the velvet ribbon with the back gold, it is just so exquisite. And look at the anthurium, you guys. These are so unexpected in a Christmas tree, but they just add so much character. And can we talk about the mesh ribbon? This teal with the champagne mesh, it is just so exquisite. I am in love with this Christmas tree. I do not want to take it apart. I really hope that some of you are inspired to create a tree like this with the butterflies, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Now, wasn't that stunning? It was so beautiful, and that's going to be linked down below. But today I'm going to share with you how to create a beautiful wreath DIY for your front door to match that gorgeous peacock tree using the same materials from David Christopher's. All right, so at this point, what I did is I chose this turquoise mesh ribbon, and I just went twice into my wreath to make it look fuller, fluffier, and to just make it girthier and more yummy, like I like to say. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to add the bows, and for that I've selected a selection of turquoise and then also other ribbons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by dovetailing my ribbons. Remember to always dovetail your ribbons because it just makes your ribbon look more finished. So we're going to give it a little bit of a tail. We're going to go under, over, flip, and even though this particular ribbon does not have a designer side, I always like to do that flip or that twist because that way I'm just used to, like I get used to it and I know that I have to do it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a wire and wire this together, and I'm gonna grab a spot right here and I'm gonna push all the way in and twist my wire into my wreath form, and look how pretty that is. Now don't forget to dovetail your ribbons because I was gonna give it all the texture that you need, all of these beautiful tails that I am just obsessed with. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this other gorgeous ribbon right here that has the beautiful turquoise, but it has an overlay of glitter mesh. It is so pretty, you guys. Let me tell you something. David Christopher does know how to do a bow and a ribbon, and I am just obsessed with the quality of their materials, and I just like to share with you guys so that you know where to get these beautiful materials, because quality, you guys, really does last a long time. I'm always telling people, if you're going to invest in your Christmas tree, on your wreath, on your swag, invest on your ribbons because they will last you a long time and they will make your Christmas tree and your home decor look more expensive and just more polished. All right, so I'm gonna add this one right here. So I'm gonna grab a bristle on my left hand and I'm gonna push that wire all the way down and twist my wire onto that bristle, and then you fluff your bow like this. And so now what we're going to do is we're gonna give this guy right here a cut, and we're gonna do a longer tail on this side. Remember to cut up to get that dovetail shape like that. And then we're going to spin our wreath like this. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this series of holiday videos. There is still so much more to come, and I'm super excited to bring you brand new home decorating ideas and DIYs this year, because I wait for this time of the year, you guys, to do the videos that we all love to watch here at Ramon at Home. And so on this particular one, I'm cutting a little bit shorter just to make sure that I have that dovetail. And then I'm gonna go down, under. I'm going to go ahead and flip and do that twist. Once again, grab one of my wires. Like I'm always telling you, have your tools at the ready, whether you're making this for sale on your Etsy shop, which, by the way, you guys, I don't know if you know, but my Etsy shop is open for the year. Every year, this time of the year, I open my Etsy shop and I put some wreaths and some other things in there that you can purchase from Ramon at Home. And so this one is going to go on my shop. So make sure that you go and check it out. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist one more time, and I'm gonna have my mesh ribbon one more time, and I'm going to do yet another bow. And like I said, all of these ribbons, all of these materials are from David Christopher's, and you guys know where to find them. Just go to my description box below and be sure to grab that discount code Ramon10 so that you too can have 10% off on all of their materials. If you're looking for things, if you are a wreath maker and if you make this for sale, then they are wholesaler also, so you guys can take advantage of that. All right, well, I am going to continue adding all of these bows, alternating a turquoise one, a mesh one, a turquoise one, and I'll be right back to give you the next step, so keep watching. All right, you guys, so I am done with the ribbon work, and look how absolutely beautiful this looks. It turned out so pretty with all of these tails. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some ornaments because it wouldn't be the holidays without ornaments. And for that, I selected these beautiful lavender ornaments. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna go right here in between ribbons, and with the wire, I already pre-wired it. I'm gonna go as far in, once again, as I can on this bristle, and then I'm going to twist my wire. I'm gonna push that wire out, and I'm gonna put that ornament right there. And I'm gonna grab another one. I'm gonna do almost like a star. I have 5, I could use 4, I could use 5, but remember to be kind to your ribbon. Try not to disturb it too much, so that way it doesn't get flat and, well, ugly, to be honest. So then I'm gonna do another spin right here. This one, I don't like that it's dangling, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out, and that is the beauty of wiring them, because if you were to glue it, and if you don't like the placement, then you're stuck with that ornament right there, because you don't want to pull it out once you put glue on it. And I'll explain that with the butterflies we're going to add. Well, just because there'll be like a whole spot of glue on your wreath. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewire this, and I want to go all the way in. So I'm going to select a bristle that I can pull all the way in with my finger like this. And then you go down and you twist, and then you put it right there. Now let's give these ribbons a little bit of a fluff. Have you given this video a thumbs up? Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying this holiday season, and also let me know which of all of the DIYs that we've done so far this season you've liked the most. I gotta tell you, there's some coming. We've recorded so many that I don't even know if you've seen them at this point or you're about to see them, so I cannot tell you which one's my favorite in case that you have not seen it yet. So I'm gonna spin around one more time, and remember to always continue to spin one direction, only one direction, because that way is going to give your wreath the balance that you need. You cannot spin to the right and then decide to spin to the left, because you will lose that balance on your wreath. So it is super important that you continue to spin either clock motion or counterclock motion for balance. Remember, balance is our best friend. Repeat that to yourself 10 times, and you will always hear in your head, what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So I'm trying to twirl that wire like that. Look at that. Without disturbing any of my ribbons or my tails, I just added all of that purple ornament, and I also love it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to these beautiful picks. And what I like about these ones, you guys, is they have some cute little ornaments as well. So these ones basically just fall off like this from the pick. So I'm gonna start with this guy right here. I'm gonna give it a cut. Now these ornaments, you can always shape them and give them a little bit of life. I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun and I'm going to be generous. Remember to be generous with the glue so that way it doesn't fall off when the door gets open. So I'm gonna start up here and give a little curvature. Now, in the past wreath video that I made, I explained to you guys how you have to do what I call a clean drop, which means that you put your glue, you're really generous with it, and smear it on the stem, and then you go like this so it kind of spills backward. Now you have to open where you want it, because you have to make sure that no glue goes into the ribbons or the ornaments. And once again, we're gonna give a little bit of a spin. I'm gonna grab another one and show you. So this one right here has already one ornament. It has these beautiful berries with the peacock colors. I'm going to cut right there. Now I'm gonna smear all of that glue in it and be generous with it. Go upside down like this. Hold it like this upside down. Then move all of the things that are on your way and then insert that stem like that. And then we're gonna give it a little bit of a spin. I would say that's what Jamieson about 15 degrees. Thumbs up for Jameson, you guys. The cameraman, it's back in the building. He's been helping this season. I'm so thankful because it has allowed me to be faster at making these videos for you guys. Sometimes when you're working by yourself, you have to run behind the camera. You have to come back here, and then you forgot the audio, and then you have to come back here, and then you realize it wasn't recording. You have to come back here. And so having an extra set of hands and an extra set of eyes has really been helpful. So thank you, Jameson, for being here and helping this holiday season. Right, so I'm gonna go like that, and then I'm going to go on the top. Remember, what goes up must come down, and what happens on the left happens on the right. Balance is our friend, and never forget to do a clean drop. And see how much girth is this giving to our wreath? So then we continue by spinning to the left. I'm going to show you what this stem looks like. So it is this tall, and look, you just open these stems, these arms, and then that's where you cut. So we have 1, 2, 3. We're gonna cut right here. And actually this one I can rip. 4. We have 4 more that we're going to add. So I'm gonna continue adding all of these beautiful David Christopher's stems, and I'll be right back with you to give you our next step. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so now what I'm doing is I'm adding this beautiful flyaway. It is this absolutely gorgeous stem, and it has all of the bejeweled glitter and sequins. It is so pretty, and I already started with this step. So what I'm gonna share with you is real quick. So I just add a whole bunch of glue. Once again, I let it run down, make sure that it smears my whole stem, and then I'm gonna look for a clean drop over here, and I'm gonna drop this guy right here on the back. And look how much girth this is giving our wreath. I will not make a Christmas tree, a garland, a wreath, or a floral arrangement without flyaways. And actually, me and Jameson, we were discussing how it really does make the look of your arrangement that you're making. And the reason I do this is because where I was taught all the floral things that I know, my ex-boss would never, ever, ever let an arrangement go out of the door without having all of those natural grasses. Like I told you in the past videos, one of my favorite things to decorate with when it comes down to floral, it's fern and spirea, because they are so dangly, so beautiful. They dance when you move them. Anything that does this number when you move them, it is one of my favorite things to decorate with. Well, these ones are made out of plastic, but we look for something that kind of has the same movement, and we get that to work with, because like I said, I will not do an arrangement. And if you've seen my fresh floral videos, or if you've seen any of my Christmas trees, you know that I am not lying when it comes down to my flyaways. All right, so I'm gonna put one right there. I'm gonna put one right here. We're almost done with this step, so be sure to add some flyaways. I'm gonna add the few last of these purple ones, and I'll be right back to give you the next step, so keep watching. All right, everyone, so we're done with this beautiful purple flyaway, and I am so loving the way this is looking. However, I felt that because we have some of the champagne glitter, what we could do is bring another champagne element. And in this case, I'm gonna add these beautiful berries. They are champagne. They're almost like a gold, but it's matte, which makes them look champagne. And for these particular ones, I want to go really tight right here. I want them to be an accent. Let me grab some more glue, because I already can tell that I'm running out, but no problem, because we have a lot of glue. We get this on Amazon, and that is my favorite glue to get, which is the Gorilla Glue. If you're wondering which glue I use, I will not use anything else, because this one really has that tack, and you want it to have that tack, especially if you're making them to sell. Like this particular one, like I said, is going to be on my Etsy, so whoever gets it is going to be make sure that, well, it's not gonna be flying on the air. Because I'm gonna open right here, and I'm gonna drop that. And remember to continue to spin. And for this one, I'm just going right here towards the center. Like I said, I want this to be almost like a highlighter to highlight all of those other beautiful colors. Because if I don't add something like this, then you're going to lose all of those purples and lavenders are gonna get lost in between them. So you'll see how just by adding this, breaking down all of those colors with this beautiful champagne matte, it will really add that what it needs. So I'm gonna add this guy right about here, like that, and it is time to spin. So that way I'm not going like that. And see how everything has that clock motion because I've been spinning that. And I just wanna share, this is what the stem looks like right here. And all you have to do is pull them like this. They come with that craft wax paper, as you guys can see. So all you have to do is pull them apart. This last one, I always like to cut it so it doesn't unravel. And I'm gonna add some glue right here, being very generous with my glue. And yes, you guys, when you do wreaths for sale, you have to make sure that you charge your clients even for the glue, because every glue stick counts. Your box counts, your glue sticks counts, your ornaments count, your ribbons count, your work time counts. So be sure to charge appropriately, because it is, at the end of the day, a lot of work to make one of these gorgeous wreaths. So if you are a seller, I encourage you to do the math right. Like I say in the business, do the math right. See how beautiful this looks? Okay, so I have a few more, just a few more to add. I'm gonna do those real quick and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, so I am done now adding all this champagne color, which really serves as a highlighter. And our last element is going to be these gorgeous David Christopher's ornaments. They are a butterfly on a little stick. You guys, we used this on our Christmas tree and it was so beautiful. But before I add them, I wanna ask you to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends on your social media, invite them to come and join us here at Ramon at Home for future decorating ideas and DIYs this holiday season. We're having so much fun and there's still a lot to come. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add these butterflies. Like I said, they do come on this stem right here. So I'm gonna use the whole stem and I'm only going to add 3 because I don't wanna cover a lot of the beautiful ribbons and elements that we added to our wreath. So I'm gonna put a lot of glue. Remember to let it go down like this. I'm going to decide where I want them. So the first one's gonna go right here. So I'm gonna open everything up for a clean drop and I'm going to go ahead and add it right there. Moving those wings, look how beautiful that is. That's absolutely stunning. And so now if you've been following the channel, you know that when we have sets of 3s, what we like to do is a triangle because that is the most appealing shape to the eye in the sign. So now I've put one on the top, that's gonna be my top. Then I'm going to come right here, somewhere around right here, and I'm going to add the second one. So for that, I'm going to kind of prep my stem by giving it a little curvature. You're going to grab your glue and we're going to smear on that paper like so. We're gonna go upside down to let it smear down. Then I'm going to grab my butterfly. I'm gonna open right here and look for a clean drop like that. Look, you guys, how absolutely gorgeous is this? We're going to move her wings like that. And so now I'm gonna add another one right here to have that triangle finished like this, making sure that she is in good shape, giving it this curvature that we want. I wonder if I should put it upside down. You know what? I think it would be cute to put it upside down to get more character. So then I'm gonna curve that stem going up and you're gonna smear all of that glue. Don't be afraid at this point to clean your spigot of your glue with that. And so remember, we're gonna go upside down. I'm gonna open right here. I'm gonna look for a clean drop. Then I'm going to go like this. You guys, I was already done with this wreath and I remembered we have this beautiful velvet ribbon with a gold lame back that I just thought it would be perfect for this. So what I've decided to do to not overpower all my beautiful butterflies, I'm going to go in between the butterflies and add just one single bow. So what you need to do is grab your ribbon, give it a little curvature like that, grab a wire, attach the bow. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a bristle that I can attach this to, being very careful because this step should have been the step before the butterflies, but I didn't see this ribbon till after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that bow right there. And look at that, just that little touch of velvet adds so much texture and richness to our wreath. And so I'm going to go ahead and look for a bristle over here. And remember to just go all the way down, all the way down, then twist that wire and go down and hide it. And look at that. That just gives it that richness. Let them fall however they want. It is just a texture element. Be sure to fluff this guy right here. And for this particular one, I'm going to go right here. And I'm gonna grab this bristle and just go all the way down. All right, you guys, so here is the beautiful wreath with the peacock feather theme. Look how absolutely stunning this wreath turned out. The butterflies really add a touch of whimsy, and look at the ribbons that I added last. Isn't that absolutely stunning? All of the picks really do add so much texture to this beautiful wreath, and also the little berry in the champagne color really separates all of the purples and all of the lavenders, and it just creates a magical holiday feast for the eye on your front door. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and remember, this wreath is going to be available on my Etsy shop now. For this next Christmas DIY, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you how to create a cute little arrangement for a coffee table, perhaps even besides the bed table. It is going to be super cute. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some of this traditional pine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them short, and I'm going to start inserting them around my perimeter. Now, if you know me, you know that I love silver. I am obsessed with silver. I don't know why, because nobody in my family ever had it, but since I started working decorating people's homes back then, I noticed that people had silver and blue and white, and so that's when I became really obsessed with it. And so I collect silver, and especially mint julep cups like this one, because they are perfect size to make some cute small arrangements, and it makes your home just look so much more elegant, especially during the holiday season. So what we're doing right here is basically just filling in the perimeter of my container, and look at that, you guys. You can have a collection of these mint julep cups on your dining table as a centerpiece, or you can just have a few of them like I'm going to do for just around the house. So then I have these really cute poinsettias. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert them around the perimeter of my container. And remember, what happens on the left happens on the right. And also remember to insert your poinsettias at an angle, so that way you can get all of the petals. I'm going to put one right here on the top. So I want it to be really tight and packed. This is what we would call in the industry a posy bouquet, which means it's really tight. You get more of the texture, and it is so cute. So I'm going to add these ones. I want to cut them short to make sure that, like I said, they're super tight and cute. Okay, I'm gonna add another one right here, and to finish I'm gonna add yet another one right here on the top to make it really packed like that. How cute is that so far? So now what I'm going to do is I have some of these pretty berries. I'm gonna cut right here. This is the perfect DIY for Christmas, to use all of that leftover stuff that we have from our wreaths and our bigger centerpieces. You can just gather some of the same materials and have a very cohesive home by adding the same materials. Look at that, how absolutely cute. Just a few touches of this berry can go a long way, and it really adds that holiday look to it. Okay, so I'm gonna add only 3. And then I also have some of these really pretty gold flyaways. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut right here at a joint, and that little flyaway is going to give me 2 smaller ones. I think I'm gonna do 2. I'm gonna cut 2 of them. So remember to just cut at the joint, and that'll give you, like I said, instead of having one longer one, you have 2 like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this at an angle. You want to make sure that you insert at an angle, and then also instead of inserting them flat, go ahead and give them that twist that I'm always telling you to get more of that texture, and just insert all the way in. And look at that. That makes them spill forward. I'm gonna go to the other side because what happens on the left happens on the right. So I'm gonna go right here. And what I love about this particular bouquet, it's all of the texture between the pine, the gold, flyaway right here. I'm gonna add this one right here on the top because what goes up must come down, so we have to make sure that we have some of that element on the top. Then I'm gonna spin around and I'm gonna put this guy right here. Look how easy and simple it is to create this bouquet. So now I also have some of this flyaway I was going to add, but you know what I decided against? Because I feel like if I add anything red, I'm gonna lose the poinsettias anyways. So I'm gonna put those to the top. But I do, however, have these cute ornament balls that came with a Walmart arrangement, and I'm just gonna add a few of them for an extra holiday cheer. So what you want to do is it's like if when you're making a wreath, and I always tell you to have a clean drop. Well, I'm doing the same, but I'm not doing any glue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and insert that guy right there. Look how cute that is. It really adds that extra holiday feel to it. I'm gonna do the same thing over here, and I want them close to the rim of my container. So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna pull it all the way in, like that. Let me see, what else do I need? I'm gonna add another poinsettia. I want it to be super packed. At this point, you have to just step away from it and see where it is that you want to fill in. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. And I think that's it. Look how absolutely cute this looks. It is a super cute arrangement that you can put on the bedside table. You can put this, like I said, a collection of them going down the table for a tablescape or your coffee table. It is super easy to make, and I know you're going to love it. What do you guys think? All right, you guys, so now for the next DIY, I'm going to share with you how to create a very inexpensive, super affordable wreath for your front door using one of the dollar store wreath forms and some items from Walmart for the dollar store and leftover things that I already had around the house. First of all, I have a block of foam, so what I need is a little square of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut through, and look, it just cuts like butter. I'm gonna put this guy over here because I don't need it right now. So you're gonna be left with a square like this. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to be very generous with our glue, and we're going to glue all of this right here. Just be generous because we wanna make sure that we can attach it to our wreath form right here. You might wanna push a little bit, but then also I'm gonna grab some ribbon and I'm just gonna go like this. I'm going to go through right here, and then I'm going to attach using one hand. Look at this. Then you pull really tight, like that. And we might want to leave those tails hanging. Actually, I'm going to do a double knot just to make sure that it's secure, so that when it's on my door, it doesn't really come falling apart like this. And we can leave those tails as tails. I'm not sure yet. We're going to see what we want to do. All right, so far we need a piece of foam right here because that's where we are going to add some of our greeneries. And for that, I have this stem of greenery, and believe it or not, you guys, this I found at the Goodwill store. One day I was there, and I'm always looking for things that I may be able to use for the DIYs because, well, I do so many of them that sometimes I'm just trying to find affordable ways to do it so I can show you. All right, so I'm gonna add a few of those sprigs. Don't be afraid to cut them, and just need to make sure that you find that joint and cut right there for maximum usage. I think that'll be good. I'm gonna put that one over there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start inserting some of this greenery. And the way you wanna do it is you wanna make sure that you have some spilling forward like this. You wanna try and cover as much as you can from that foam with the smaller ones or the shorter ones. And then the long ones, you wanna make sure that they spill up and down. So that way you have a little bit of drama. Remember, I told you the other day on the Wreaths video, if you have not seen the Wreaths video, you guys, I'm not just saying that. We put out 3 wreaths on this video, and we had a beautiful, colorful one. We had a red traditional one, and then we had a gold and rose gold one, and I gave you full instructions on how to create those wreaths. So I'm gonna link that video down below. If you have not seen it, I really recommend to go check it out. If you like watching wreath making videos, because I gave you all the tips. And on that video, I gave you permission to be dramatic when it comes down to your decor, because you only get one chance in the holiday season to really make your home decor stand out. So might as well just go ahead, like they said, go bold or don't bother. You know, I'm gonna tell you a story. So one time I worked at a furniture store, And there was this girl that, well, she didn't like me. I don't know why, because I really thought she was really nice. But she was in charge of the merchandising, right? And one time we were doing this live show, and I, of course, I'm a little bit over the top. I'm known for that. She didn't like that. And so she came to me and she said, you know what, Ramon, sometimes less is more. And I just looked at her. I was like, no. I said, less is less and more is more. And she walked off. And so that's what my style is all about, over the top, because we only get one time, like I said to you guys, during the holiday season to really let our creativity run and to be creative and as fancy and as dramatic as you want to be. So go for it. I'm here to give you permission for that. All right, so basically what I've done so far is I just cover some of that foam with some of these greeneries on that particular corner of my wreath. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of my ribbon and I'm gonna do some tails. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a tail like this, and I'm gonna bring it forward like this, and then I'm going to do two tails like that, a long one and a short one. So what I want to do now is I'm gonna open my drawer, and I know I have some little stakes right here. Yes, I have one. So the ones that have the wire, what you want to do is you want to grab that wire and go through it, and then just go around like this. And you can find these stakes with a wire at Hobby Lobby or Walmart, where the florist supplies are. It's a florist supply. I'm gonna get one out. I think I have two. I think that's good. And so I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to cut my tail right about here. So this is what it's going to look like. So you have two tails, and then I'm going to insert this guy right here, like this. And it's gonna give us this loop, this tail, this other tail. I'm gonna cut this short, like that. And so now I'm gonna grab more of the same ribbon, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to pinch, this one I'm gonna make it a little longer. So about this much. And then you're going to do another loop right here, twist it like this. You wanna make sure that you have both tails facing forward. Without letting go of where you pinch, you're gonna grab your stake with a wire, you're gonna go around and pull, and then you ravel that on the leftover wire on the stake. So you have this tail. So I'm gonna dovetail right about here. And so now what I'm going to do is, I'm gonna bring my bow forward, actually this one. You want the longer tail to be on the back, and then you're going to have that loop going like this. So I'm gonna add this other one right here on the other side, like this. So you have two tails, and this creates a bow like you can see, but it's very separated. And that's what I want. I want it to be separated because we're going to add some poinsettias over on the middle to cover that. And I got this at the dollar store. What I like to do is I like to cut them all at once like this. Get rid of that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add all of these beautiful red poinsettias right here. Some of them longer ones, some of them short ones. So for the short ones, just be sure to cut a little shorter. And we're going to add all of that right here in the middle. Like that one didn't go quite through. There you go. And I'm going to, this longer one, I'm going to add over on the back to kind of spill forward this way. And then I'm going to attach this one right here, going down. Look how that just created a focal point, and our bow looks separated like this. So now I'm going to continue attaching. If you are on a budget, this type of wreath is definitely for you. These items are only about $1.25, so you can really add as many or as little as you like. And then this one I'm going to go ahead and go put it down. At this point, you can add that glue to it if you like to make it stay. Like I said, I just make these ones to show you guys, so I am going to unravel it later. But now I'm gonna add some leftover berries that I had. So now I'm gonna add some of these gold berries, making sure that I insert in that foam. And some of the longer ones, you may want to have them spill down. And for that, you have to insert from the bottom. This one right here, because I have a poinsettia on this side, I'm gonna grab this really long one and I'm going to go over to this side, like that. And then I have this other long one, so I'm gonna go over to this side. Make sure that you do what happens on the left, happens on the right, and what goes up must come down. It doesn't matter how much your project is. If you follow those simple steps, you can create something beautiful on a budget. You know, and so if you just follow those steps, I always tell you what happens on the left, happens on the right, what goes up must come down, and look how it's stunning. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring some of the gold, and for that I have a few leftover fern. They super glitter, really, really pretty in gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this guy right here, one up and then one down. Why? Because what goes down, what goes up must come down. So now I'm going to open right here. I'm gonna add this one right here into my foam. And look, just a sprig, just a touch, it really adds a lot. So I'm gonna do the same with this red one. I'm gonna go all the way to the back and I'm gonna add it right there. And then I'm going to go down on the bottom and I'm going to add it also from the bottom, but going down. And that's elongated. And look how big this arrangement just got by adding all of that. And so now I have a few of these really pretty gold ornaments that come on this stick with the foliage. Well, you know what? I'm gonna take the foliage out because I just want the ornaments. And this came from some sprigs from Walmart. And you know, one of those that has like all of the greeneries and like the poinsettias and things like that. Well, you don't have to use all of it. Like on that particular arrangement, I just cut the ornaments, but I do like them, just not for that particular project. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut one short and I'm going to add one right here, making sure that I go on my foam. At this point it's getting tight, so you have to make sure that you hear that going in the foam. And then on this particular one, I'm gonna cut a little longer. I'm gonna give it a curvature and then I'm gonna go from the bottom. So I want them together. I have to grab this right here. Sorry if I disappear my face, but I have to make sure that that goes in the foam. Like that. So now I'm going to give this a flap. I'm gonna put it on the door and show you how stunning something so affordable can look. Keep watching. All right, so this is how simple it is to make a statement on your front door with only a few dollars. Look at this gorgeous bouquet right here on this diamond shaped wreath from the dollar store. All of the materials are super affordable. Some I already had in hand, so you can really let your creativity run when you're doing this type of wreaths, because it is basically just all of the scraps that you have from other projects, you guys. I know that you too can create a gorgeous wreath like this for your front door, and I cannot wait to read your comments. So be sure to leave me a comment down below. All right, you guys, so I want to take a second real quick to remind you that there's going to be a video with 20 more Christmas DIYs for you to check after this one to continue to be inspired. And then also to remind you that if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up because it is free and it helps the channel. And follow me on my social media, Instagram and Facebook, so that you can follow all the behind the scenes. Trust me when I tell you, you will not want to miss anything this Christmas season 2023. Let's get back to the video. You guys, I could not be more excited to share with you the next Christmas DIY, and we're going to decorate a gorgeous mantle, doing a few things that we've done before and giving you a few new tricks. So let's get started. We're gonna start with some ribbon, and for this I have the 4-inch David Christopher's ribbon with a gorgeous snowflake glitter print and the silver lame back. I already went ahead and gave it a little bit of a slant cut, so I'm going to gather right here. And for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do loopy big bows. So I want them to be large and in charge. And so one tail, remember, shorter, the other one longer. I think I might have to trim that tail a little bit, but we'll worry about that as we go. So what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna wire all of this together with one of my 24 gauge wire. And I have to admit, you guys, for years and years and years, I've been telling you that this wire is gauge 18. Well, guess what? It's 24. Find out the other day we had to go to Shinoda and get some wire. And so Jamison's like, this is not 18, this is 24. Because we had to look for the, I'm looking for my scissors on my pocket. Because we had to look for the box that it comes in. And so I was like, oh my gosh, Jamison, I've been telling people that it's a 24 or an 18 gauge wire this whole time. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do another one. So I decided that instead of a slant, I am going to dovetail. I really do think that Here's how it goes. 4-inch, I like to dovetail. A 2.5 or a 1.5, I like to put on a slant, depending on the pattern. So for this particular one, what we're going to do is we're just gonna go ahead and grab our ribbon. And remember, we want these bows to be loopy and large because we really want them to show, because we're going to put some elements in, you guys, that I cannot wait for you to see. All right, so I'm gonna grab my wire and I'm going to go ahead and just a little fun fact. We literally just got done doing a live video and I spoke to so many of you and I told you the story about how a lady at work one time told me that less was more, and my reply was no. Less is less and more is more, and I believe and I live by that, you guys. Less is pretty, but more, it's prettier. So that's why I always tell you, I'm giving you permission to go bold, go big, go stunning, because it's the holidays, you guys. We only get one time of the year where our homes can really be so lavish with all of these beautiful items. And so why not, instead of doing, like I told you earlier, instead of doing 2 dovetails, you can do 4. Instead of doing 2 loops, you can do 4. Like I told you that other week too, 2 hands work faster than, no, 4 hands, I still say it wrong. 4 hands work faster than 2, and 4 eyes can see more than 2. Right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail right here. So I'm just adding these bows and letting these tails like this just be wherever they want to be. I'm going to do yet another one, and I'm going to start by dovetailing one more time. I'll show you real quick. I'm going to do this, and then we're going to pinch, giving me a tail. I like to go under with my more dominant hand, which is the right. I pinch, gather, and then I twist. And you know, for this one also be pretty if one loop was white with a glitter and the other one was silver. And I wish I would have thought about that, but I didn't. So now I have to finish them all white, which is good because we have an accent ribbon that we're going to add that is all silver. And I'm always also telling you to have all of your tools at the ready, because it really makes your job way easier than if you don't. So I'm gonna add this guy right here, like this. I'm gonna grab my scissors and I'm gonna cut right here. Now leave it like that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna repeat the same with this beautiful 2.5 silver ribbon. And what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to cut at a slant. Like I told you, if it is a 2.5 or a 1.5 inch ribbon, I do like to cut at a slant. And then also I'm going to do like a longer tail for this one, because remember I told you that I'm giving you permission to be a little bit more dramatic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3 loop bow. And remember, because I want them really fluffy, remember to make your loops different sizes, so that way you get more texture. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna grab my wire and I'm wire all of this together, and I'm going to start right here in the middle. Right here in the middle. Grab your bristle, grab your wire, twist that wire into the bristle, and see how that just gave you all of the loops and the tails. And then bring your loop right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do yet another loop, attaching this bristle right here. Be sure to have fun when you do this. There is no rhyme or reason, as long as you are following the directions. What happens on the right happens on the left. What goes up must come down. But you can always change the rules, you guys. The rules were only placed to be broken. So I am also giving you permission to just break the rules when it comes down to decorating, because you will have more fun, I promise you, than if you're just trying to make it perfect, because perfection does not exist. Somebody just say the word perfect, but the truth of the matter is that Mother Nature never did once perform perfection. And so why are we trying to do it? And Jameson just gave me direction. Come here, Jameson, and show people what you just did. Just show people what you did. So he's my scene director nowadays, and so come here. He's gonna show you. No, bring the Bible. So he's trying to direct my scenes, and so what you do?
Trying to send a little message to put your scissors on a book over here so it's quieter instead of them being always making sound.
I'll try to do that. He also actually the other day, thank you. The other day he gave me a little pad, and I put it to the side, and instead of using it, I just continue to pile things on it. And before I knew it, I couldn't find the little pad, which I thought it was hilarious. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add this right here. And because this is very self-explanatory, you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish all throughout, and I'll be right back to give you the next step. So keep watching. Okay, so now that we finished all of our bows, and as you guys can see, they are really big and loopy and in charge, and they cover a lot of our garland, and I also love that because that way I'm going to be using less ornaments when it comes down to decorating. So by adding the ribbons like this, you save yourself a few bucks in your ornaments. But so also want to mention, I have all of my ornaments here, and I want to also mention, like I always do, these are your best friends. They're from the dollar store, and look, you can just gather all of your ornamentations you're going to be using. They are in the same place, and I'm gonna get going. So I'm gonna grab one of the large ones like this right here, and I'm going to add by twisting my wire. Now me and Jameson have pre-wired all of this, and I'm always telling you that that is like the best thing you can do because it'll save you so much time, especially if you are a designer and decorator, if you are in people's homes. If you show up with all of your materials already pre-wired, you guys will see how easy it really is to decorate anything, and your clients are going to love you because, well, your time is their money. So my ex-boss used to say, you're only as good as you're fast. You have to be fast, but it also has to be gorgeous because people expect nothing less than gorgeous, but we have to move it along. He used to say to me, move it along, move it along. He actually hated when I asked questions because he was always like, move it along, move it along. Sometimes, you guys, we decorate 6 homes in one day. There were long days, the holiday season at that flower shop, but I could not do it. Now it's like what he used to say, it gets in your blood, and it really does. Decorating does get in your blood. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the brushed nickel silver ones, and actually this reminds me of, didn't we come up with what it was? Brushed stainless steel. Have you ever seen that brushed stainless steel countertops? This is exactly what it looks like. This is from Hobby Lobby, and unfortunately every year you guys only get a few boxes, so I'm collecting them because I want to get to the point where I can do a whole tree, a tinsel tree with these ornaments, but unfortunately they only bring a few of them every year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach one right here. Every place where I placed a big ornament, I'm going to attach another one to kind of start creating my clusters. Somebody did leave a comment the other day asking me if I did clusters. And yes, I do clusters, but I feel like if you do it individually, you can control what you're doing a little bit better than if you cluster them all together. There is a few videos coming up where I did use the clusters, especially the home tour, because sometimes making a big cluster of ornaments and just placing it on a branch, it is so beautiful. But for this particular one right here, what I like to do is just grab another branch and put it somewhere near where that one is, and look, it'll just stay there. So I'm gonna continue adding this particular ornament somewhere near the other one just by twisting that wire like this. I'm gonna put this guy over here. Sorry if I'm giving you my back, but like I said, you're just as good as you are fast. All right, so now I'm gonna grab some of these white ones. Now, this mantle right here, can you see this? Okay, so let me move that. So this mantle right here is to go along with our beautiful white flocked Christmas tree. If you have not seen that Christmas tree, actually, you know what? Let me give you a real quick peek to it. All right, you guys, so here is the end result on this beautiful monochromatic white snowy flocked Christmas tree. Look how absolutely gorgeous and simple this tree is, but it is so elegant. Let me give you a close-up of these beautiful white poinsettias with all of the micro sequins in it, the beautiful jeweled ribbon that is just a little touch. This reflective disco ball ornament is so pretty. And then the ribbon, you guys, look how absolutely gorgeous the ribbon is with the snowflake on it. This is super easy to create if you just follow these simple steps. Remember, number 1 is to add your ribbons. Number 2, your ornaments. Number 3, stems, picks, and florals. And number 4, your accent ribbon and accent ornaments and monogram. Why not? I cannot wait to read your comments, so leave me a comment down below and let me know, what do you think about this beautiful snowy white Christmas tree? Wasn't that tree just absolutely gorgeous? Well, this is the mantle to match, and I really hope that you have not seen it, go check it out, because the step-by-step instructions really do help to create a gorgeous Christmas tree like that. Right, so I'm gonna grab these white ones now, and what I want to do is I wanna do two of them. Instead of just adding one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add two of the same every time that I add an ornament. So I'm gonna add one right here. Immediately, I'm gonna grab another one and just add another one. And this is gonna start filling in this garland. Look how absolutely lush this looks with just ornaments. So I'm gonna add one right here on the top. And then immediately I'm gonna grab another one. And you guys, can you believe these ornaments are from the dollar store? Me and Jameson went to the dollar store and a few of them, and we grabbed all of the ones they had because I cannot believe they're only $1. They're so pretty. They look like milk glass. They're made out of plastic, but you guys remember the hobnail pattern on the milk glass, which is my favorite? That's what these reminds me of, and so I just absolutely love them. All right, so now I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna put one right there, and really fast, just add another one right here. And for this one to end it, what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna add one all the way in the bottom, right here, to kind of end that pattern right there. So I'm gonna do the same over on this side. I'm going to move along over here, which reminds me to, next time we go to Hobby Lobby, Jameson, remind me to stop at their dollar store so that we can check out for more of these. Even though I did get a bunch of them, I do want to have this available. So there's two, and then I'm gonna grab my last one, and like I said, I'm just gonna grab my garland over on this side and add it all the way to the bottom. How absolutely stunning is that, you guys? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my disco balls, which I absolutely love, and these are going to be sprinkled throughout my garland. So I'm going to add one right here, and I'm going to go ahead and add another one right here. Like I said, we're just going to sprinkle these ones because we only have a few, and they're kind of like your statement piece, so you want to make sure that you don't lose those ornaments. And I'm going to continue adding in and out. Remember, what happens on the left happens on the right. What goes up must come down. And look how absolutely lavish this looks. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another one and put it all the way to the bottom right here to make sure that our pattern continues all throughout our garland. And look, you guys, how absolutely stunning this looks. So I'm going to grab this guy right here, and I'm going to go in here and add this. Okay, so we have 2 steps left. I'm going to grab my Pix fluorescent stems, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, so if you've been following this channel for any period of time, you know that I have a 4-step process, and that is ribbons first, ornaments second, stems, picks, and florals third, which is what we're about to do. And then at the end, we like to add an accent ribbon or accent ornaments, those accent things that really make your design to really stand out. So I'm gonna start by adding some of these beautiful poinsettias, and like I told you, we're going to be adding white and red. So I love these ones from David Christopher's. They're the ones that we cut and retaped. They are absolutely stunning. So I'm gonna start with one right here. And for this particular design, you guys, I kind of want them to pop out because I want this garland to be as thick and lavish as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open them up, and also remember that David Christopher's does give you 10% off on all of your purchases with the code Ramon10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one right here. I'm going to go right here and add another one, but more like towards the middle, like that. And kind of make sure that you face them not forward, but you give them some character. So that is more beautiful and appealing to the eye than if you just put all of them facing forward, like they're looking and staring at you the whole time. So that's why you also don't want to open them too wide. You want to make sure that those petals have some character to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one right here, but this one I'm going to put right here to the side, and making sure that I go through all of my garland to stand out. Then I'm going to repeat with another one over on this side, and this one also I wanted to just pop off. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put it right here. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. What goes up must come down. So we have to continue repeating that in our mind till it's all engraved, tattooed in our brain. So that way, when we're decorating, well, you're gonna become so fast. Just keep watching this YouTube channel, and I'm gonna make a designer out of all of you. I promise you, you will be able to have a career in this like I am. That is my main goal, you guys, to hopefully entertain you, inspire you, teach you, and motivate you to do it yourself. So I really hope that I'm doing my job. And I just love hearing the stories when you guys tell me that you're out decorating, that you love to make centerpieces or wreaths for sale because you watch the channel. That really warms my heart. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring a pop of red right here. Look at that. Just that pop of red really changes the look of an all white garland. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really wish that I would have thought about the red poinsettias when I was decorating the Christmas tree. It was frosty, it was super elegant and glam, but I think that the red, when I did the wreath, the match, if you guys haven't seen that wreath video DIY, I'm also going to link it down below. When I did that wreath, it was just absolutely stunning. So, all right, so I'm gonna add this guy right here. So I don't know if you noticed, but what I'm doing is I'm going in between the white ones. That's where I'm going to put the red ones. Okay, and I'm gonna open the petals on this one right here, and look how absolutely stunning this poinsettia is. This one is from Hobby Lobby. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give it a little bit of a curvature right here, and I'm going to insert, actually I'm gonna put it right here, making sure that it is on top of these ornaments and the ribbons because I want to have a lot of texture. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a this is my fourth one right here, and what you need to do is you need to open every single petal. Everything that has a wire, you have to open like this. You guys, I have to tell you, these poinsettias are over 10 years old, and look how absolutely stunning they still are, because every year I take the time to fluff them up, and then also when I'm gonna put them up, to make sure that I store them properly, and they look brand new, but they are, believe it or not, about 10 years old. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go over to this side, and I'm gonna face one down, going down like that. So I'm gonna put one in the corner, and so that way it is very well balanced, and you have that color going everywhere. So for our last poinsettia, what I'm going to do is once again just touch every single petal, and remember what happens on the right happens on the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the petals, and then I'm going to make sure that I go about the same area on the other side, making sure that that poinsettia sticks right there. And look at that. So now we have all of that red going throughout our garland. I'm gonna get those flyaways ready. You guys know that it's not a Ramon at Home original unless it has those flyaways. I'm gonna get those ready, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. Okay, so let's do a real quick recap. First of all, we added all of our loopy bows with this beautiful David Christopher's ribbon, and then also our beautiful silver accent ribbon. After that, I added the big ornament, then the polished nickel or stainless steel ornament, then our fabulous disco balls that really make this garland look lavish and full. Next, we added the white poinsettias, and then I added the red poinsettias going in and out on the garland. So now we got to my favorite part of designing for Christmas, which is the flyaways. And for this, I selected these beautiful frosty flyaways, and I'm gonna start by adding one right here on the corner. This is, you guys, where you're going to really see your design come alive. And I'm gonna put them down. So remember, what happens on the left happens on the right. So we're gonna start at the ends first. And once again, I do apologize if you see my back side, because I have to make sure that I put it where I want it so it stays. Then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go up one. So right here by my silver bow. Then I'm gonna repeat right here, making sure that they face about the same size. So I'm gonna put one right here. And look how much girth this is giving your garland, you guys. What you could do at this point is attach a bristle and go around it. So I'm gonna go right here, going down now, because remember that everything that goes up must come down. I'm gonna repeat the same over on this side, right about the same height. We're going to be like this. And this is what is giving that depth and dimension to your design right here. So I'm gonna add one right here in the middle. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add my frosty fern. And for this, I want to be very generous because it's what's going to really tie it all together. So I'm gonna start right here. We've gone to almost the end of this beautiful garland. I added all of my flyaways, and look how absolutely thick this is. I just love the way this looks. It is so rich looking, and that pop of red really screams holiday. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add my accent ribbon, and you know that I am obsessed with this bejeweled ribbon from Fair Silk, and I cut in little strips and just make one loop bow, but it has enough jewels to catch the light. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna select some places where I want this ribbon, and because it already has the wire, what I'm going to do is just grab a bristle and then spin it around, and look at that. It just adds so much pizzazz, so much glam, and that touch of holiday sparkle to it. And all you have to do, if you already have it pre-wired, is, well, attach that wire that you already have to a bristle somewhere like this right here. Look at this. Just by adding that little touch of beautiful sparkle, it is so beautiful right here. All right, you guys, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give this a quick fluff, and I'll come back and share with you the end result. Keep watching. All right, everyone, so here is the end result on this absolutely stunning garland. First of all, I love the little monogram, and the candlesticks right here, they add a lot of touch of sparkle to this whole design. And the pop of red, you guys, is what I want to talk to you about. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? Can you believe those poinsettias are almost 10 years old? They still look fabulous. But I just love the way this looks. As you guys can see, it is super easy to make, and if you follow the steps, you too can have an absolutely gorgeous garland, Christmas tree, and wreath this year. Okay, so now what we're going to do is a gorgeous and traditional Christmas centerpiece DIY. And the other day we went shopping at Shinoda Design Center, and you guys, I found these really cool swags that are made for centerpieces. I already went ahead and fluffed them, but what I want to share with you is that it has the candle holders, and of course I'm not going to add the candles till the end to give you a finished look, but it's already integrated, and this is the perfect swag or centerpiece form if you are making a centerpiece yourself this Christmas season. So let's get started. So I have my materials right here, and I'll just talk to you as I go, so that way we don't take a lot of time, because this video is already running a little long, but I do want you to learn how to make a gorgeous centerpiece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some loops, and I'm going to start right here with this beautiful champagne ribbon that we also used on our wreath that you guys just saw. So what I like to do is to try and keep it as cohesive as possible by using all of the same materials. If you are decorating your house for the holiday season, I think personally, and this is just my humble opinion, that it looks more beautiful if you use the same materials all throughout the house. Your house looks cohesive, and it just looks like more designer-like than if we went ahead and just did like a candy cane in one room, or perhaps let's say traditional on the other. So I feel like it feels and it looks more designer-like if you go ahead and just do one. So what I did is I went ahead and added this tail right here. I'm gonna get these flowers off my tail until I need them, so I'm gonna put them over here. So I did a tail right here, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab the other one because that one doesn't have enough. I'm going to do the same now, but I'm gonna go over on this side, and because I left it long on this side, I wanted to touch and graze the table. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start over here now, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing, having a longer one over on this side, because remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. And so now what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and do some loops. And I wanna mention this is a no glue DIY. I just figure I share with you, because if we are going to buy this form, which is not very expensive, to be honest, let me see if it has a price still on it. It's only $14, you guys. How affordable is that? All right, so now what I'm gonna do is do another loop right here. So what I was gonna say is I wanted to do a no glue, because if we're going to buy this form, well, if you are making them to sell, you know, my recommendation is always to glue. But since we are not this occasion, then we're just gonna go ahead and add our items and share with you how easy it is to create this centerpiece. So I'm gonna cut right here. And now what I'm going to is I'm gonna grab my plaid ribbon and I'm gonna do some really cute bows. So I'm gonna do 1, 2. Remember, we're not gluing or using wire. So what I'm going to is I'm gonna grab this right here and I'll do it on this side. I'm gonna grab this right here. And when using the bristles, I'm just gonna twist them real quick. And then I'm gonna fluff my bow right here. And I'm gonna cut at a dovetail. And I don't have enough, let me see if I do. You don't have to also be exact with this particular one. I want you to be creative more than anything. No, I don't have enough, but I did drop one of them. I didn't want you guys to see that, but I did drop one. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this right here and do yet another one of these 2 loop bows, twist it, and then I'm gonna grab over this side now, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing, just using 2 of my bristles. I'm gonna twist them into place, and then what I do is I fluff them, and then I cut. Let me see, and I think 2 of these plaid bows is just enough because I do have other items that I'm going to add. So this is what it looks like right now. It's all really pretty with the gold ribbon and then just an accent of that traditional ribbon. And you know what, I just thought of something. So if we pick our leftover ribbon, fold it and dovetail it, what we could do is fold it in half, do a tail at the end right here, or 2 tails. And so what you need to do is you need to insert and then you want to readjust those tails, of course. So they're a little shorter. Oop, I cut the wrong way. Like that. One short, a little bit longer. Like this. See how now we have the 3 right here? And I'm gonna have to go ahead and go down, pick up the other one that I had already pitched. But look, that just really added a little bit of texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pinch right here. I'm going to introduce this bow right here, or these tails, and then I'm going to cut a little shorter. I cut the wrong way again, because I'm doing it backwards, but no problem, we can always readjust. Look at that. Gives us that traditional color right here, and now I'm gonna do that, and see how now it has that color all throughout the centerpiece. It was so easy, and you can do it. All right, so moving on to the next is going to be to add our flowers. So I'm gonna grab some of these poinsettias. You guys know that I like to cut them all at once, and in this occasion I'm going to cut them as long as possible because we're going to insert throughout our centerpiece. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab right here and I'm gonna give it a curvature, and I'm gonna start inserting these flowers right here. So I'm gonna add one right here. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, so we're going to add yet another on this side. I'm going to add one right here straight up, like that. And look, see, you don't even need any glue to glue this really pretty poinsettia. So I'm gonna grab another one and put it right here. As long as you leave that stem long, then you are fine and good to go. I'm gonna add over here to the end. Look at that. How easy is that, you guys? I'm gonna add another one over here. If you are doing it to sell, then I do recommend to cut it short and then go ahead and add a little dab of glue, and you'll be all set to go for sale. All right, so now we have our poinsettias. So now what I'm going to add is going to be some of these berries. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when I'm working, I like to have all materials on one side. I don't know why. Maybe that's normal. I don't know, but I just like to have them on the right to pick up and to add to my centerpiece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these really pretty berry from David Christopher. So I'm going to add one right here. And then immediately I'm going to go over to this side, and remember to leave the stem longer so it latches on to our centerpiece form. So I'm going to add this guy right here. Giving those ribbons a little bit of fluff. Then I'm going to move over to this side right here. I'm going to add some over here at the end, going through our loop like that. Look at that. How pretty is that? You'll see it in a second. I have this big one, so I'm going to add it over here. Also, what you could do is, I'll share with you real quick. You could put one right here and then grab your bristle and just twist it in, and that'll keep it into shape. So I'm going to go ahead and spin around. I'm going to do it one more time right here. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to grab this bristle and just twist it with it, and that way it looks like it grew from the bristle. All right, so now since I have these two, I'm gonna put over here, and I'm gonna move on to the gold. This is my favorite flyaway. You guys know that I am I will not do an arrangement without flyaways, whether it's a big one or a small like this, because it really is what adds all of that pizzazz. Look at that. Just a touch of gold glitter can really make your centerpiece look so holiday. So remember, one to the right, one to the left, and then what we do is we repeat. So I'm gonna spin over to this side. I'm gonna repeat. So I'm gonna put one right here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spin around, and I'm going to add the other one going this way, like this. And then this last one I'm going to add over here, like that. And I also have some pine cones that I had from past projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add this pine cone right here. I'm just gonna twist that wire that it comes with. And then I'm going to go the opposite way, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, lifting my ribbon and just putting that bristle through. So far so good. I have a few left over of these, so I'm gonna go ahead and add those for more pizzazz. All right, so now this looks great, but I do have some ornaments over here that I'm going to bring up. I have some large ornaments like these gold ones, and so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna open right here. They're already pre-wired. Remember that I always tell you to wire your ornaments before we start working, and I've shared with you many times how to do that. So I'm gonna add a big gold over here, and then I'm gonna move to the other side, and then I'm gonna grab right here, and I'm going to twist that wire in and place it into place. And so now I have a red one that I'm going to add over on this side, like this. And I have another red one that I'm going to maybe add. I'm gonna add all the way over here and just twist it into my bristle like this, and that'll put it into place. And then I'm going to add our last one all the way over here, so that way we have the same elements all throughout our centerpiece. So I'm gonna add this guy right here, just twist that wire in like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give all these ribbons a fluff. I'm going to add my candles and share with you the end result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is the end result, and I just absolutely love the way this turned out. No glue needed, because this centerpiece, as you guys can see, already had the candlestick holders, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. This is something that you can do, as you can see, in a few minutes. Put it on your table. Once again, this is a traditional color scheme and palette, but you can do this with any color scheme. And if you're going to do a frosty one, I would definitely give this a spray paint with a white flat paint. But look how absolutely gorgeous, you guys. I cannot move it a lot because obviously the fire, but I just wanted to share with you how pretty it really does look. Now this is also something that you can do with the votive or the battery operated candlesticks. I know I sell them on Amazon. I just don't happen to have any, but I did wanted to share with you what it looked like all put together. I really hope this was helpful to you. As you can see, it is so pretty, and I really hope that you give it a try. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what do you think. Okay, so for this next Christmas DIY, I want to share with you how to create a gorgeous wreath, but nothing but ribbon and a wire. Yes, you're going to create a gorgeous statement this Christmas on your front door by using ribbon and a wire, and I'm going to give you all those instructions. If you are anything like me, then most likely you have one of these basic wreaths, and this is a David Christopher's, and I love all the pine cones in it and the semi-flocked, but because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, then what I'm going to do is just create a gorgeous statement with my ribbons. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to grab a statement ribbon like this, which is a beautiful mesh ribbon. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a super gorgeous bow. And for this particular one, because I want the drama, I want the tails to be super long. So you'll get to see this on the door when we put it there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch right here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the same ribbon, and I'm going to do about a 6-inch tail going up. Now this is my core right here, and I'm never going to let go of it because this is how we're going to create the loops. And as you guys can see, once you have your bow or your ribbon, you insert it right here into your fingers, you give it a little fluff, you spin around, and then you go over again. And this is basically, these two fingers, your index and your thumb, are the ones that are going to hold the whole ribbon and the whole bow together. So now we're going to be left with 2 beautiful loops and 2 tails, and just make sure that you spin that to the front. So now we have three tails and 2 loops. Now what we're going to do is we're going to introduce this check black and white, because I love black and white and red, and we're going to do a tail going up another 5 inches, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do a loop right here. And because this is not this is just a print, so then we can just go ahead and do my 2 loops, and I'm going to cut right about here. Now I'm going to introduce a 3rd ribbon, and for that I'm going to introduce my tail going up and a tail going down like that. And then I'm going to bring that ribbon again, and I'm going to do yet another tail going up like this. I'm going to go down, pinch right here to create that loop with my index finger and my thumb, and then I'm going to make sure that that print is forward, and I'm going to do it again like this. And so as you guys can see, we have the red, we have the black and white. Then now I'm going to leave that tail hanging down like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this 1/7 of an inch, 0.75 of an inch in red. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a little tail like that. Then I'm going to cut right here for a long tail. I'm going to make sure that I cut right there. So now I'm going to reintroduce that again, and what I'm going to do, so now I have 2 tails like the rest of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this right here. I'm going to make a loop. Then I'm going to go that way. I'm going to make yet another loop. And because I have enough ribbon of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3rd loop right here, making sure that goes in between my index finger. So now I'm going to be left with all of these beautiful tails. And you know what? I feel like this black one, because it is such a statement, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring yet another tail of this. I'm going to introduce it right here in my fingers. So you basically just have the same ribbons, 1 long tail, 2 loops. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pre-taped wire. I'm going to wire all of this together, making sure that I go through every single bow, so that way I don't lose the shape of my beautiful bow. And I'm going to pull back really tight. Once you pull back really tight, what you want to do is spin it around to tie everything. So now that you have your bow, what you can do is fluff this puppy up like this. And I want to make sure that all of this is really fluffed. And so now what we need to do is dovetail all of these tails. This is a new technique, you guys, that I've been trying out. Super easy to make beautiful bows. Actually, I'm going to attach it first. That way I don't lose the shape of it. So I'm going to put it right in here with a wire. I'm going to take it off the stand, and I'm going to make sure that I pull really tight on the back, really tight, so that bow doesn't move. And then with the remaining wire, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a loop right here to make that our door hanger. I'm going to spin that around. I'm going to put this back on my stand, and it's wrestling me, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all those beautiful tails. Now I'm going to start with the super long ones. I'm going to bring those to the side, one to one side, like this, and the other one to the other side right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pinch right here. We're going to create a loop. Then we're going to grab one of these bristles right here, and I'm going to twist it. And that's going to create an even longer loop, like that. Now I'm going to fluff all of these bows. Make sure that they are in the right spot. This is the fun part, because you get to finesse. I'm going to twist it towards me so that I can pull this particular one over to this side and do the same thing. Basically just grab a bristle right here. Then I'm going to twist it in. You could tie a bow or a knot if you wanted to. I'm going to cut these tails. All right, you guys, so after I fluffed all of the bows, this is what it looks like. It is super easy. All you have to do is make a statement bow with some gorgeous ribbons. In this particular one, what I did is I added this gorgeous red and then an accent red and silver, a black and white that I personally think it looks so beautiful with the red, and then my little red bow right here. As you can see, it's all you need to create a gorgeous statement on your front door this holiday season. What do you guys think? For this next Christmas DIY, what I wanted to do is show you how you can create a gorgeous, smaller wreath for your door. If you live in an apartment or if you have one of those storm windows, this is going to be perfect for that. We're gonna use one of these wicker wreath forms and some of these traditional looking poinsettias. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start by cutting the poinsettias short, but not too short, because we want them to be weaved into our wreath form. So I wanna say probably about 4 inches. So what you do is you just continue to add those poinsettias, and if it sticks out like this, it's better to cut it off after than not have enough stem to add that poinsettia. So basically what you need to do is go ahead and put them together like that and just weave them into your wreath form as you go. One to the left, one to the right. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. It doesn't matter how small the project may be. If you just continue saying that to yourself in your head, I promise you, you too will be able to create some gorgeous wreath DIYs, whether they are hundreds of dollars or just a few dollars, because the technique, you guys, is the same. And sometimes you really have to push, but we want to make sure that those poinsettias really go in. And like I said, we'll go at the end and clip all of those stems sticking out. Look how easy this is, and it really is filling in. So now I ran out of poinsettias. I'm gonna cut all of these right here. And I like to cut them all at once just because, well, it is easier and faster. And these affordable poinsettias, you can find them at Walmart, you can find them at Hobby Lobby, you can find them everywhere right now. Everybody has poinsettias. So what I'm going to do is continue adding some of this, and I'm just gonna go and insert more. Sometimes it's better to just leave the stem long like that, because we are going to go back and cut them all. But look, you can actually pull on it. It is so easy and simple. All right, so I'm gonna continue. You guys, if you have not given this video a thumbs up so far, what are we waiting for? If you are enjoying these DIYs, be sure to let me know which one has been your favorite one so far, and if you are as excited as I am for the holiday season. This year, we are doing so many DIYs, and once again, I wanna ask you to give Jamison a thumbs up for helping around and getting all of these videos out to you. We are having such a blast decorating for the holiday season, and I really hope that you are as well. Look how simple this is, you guys. You're basically just inserting all of these poinsettias in by pulling. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm going one way. So you have to continue with your clock motion. And so I'm gonna continue adding. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some to the inside. But now what I'm going to do is cut them a little shorter, because these ones are a little long. So remember, prep once or prep twice and work once. Look how packed it got right here. That is exactly what I'm looking for a packed wreath. Okay, so we used about 5 of these affordable poinsettia bundles. Look at this. And I feel like I need some right here. So I'm gonna grab one of my poinsettias and I'm going to pull in here real quick. Okay, so now I'm gonna give this a fluff and I'll be right back with you. I'm gonna trim all the stems and share with you the next step. Keep watching. Okay, so now that we are done inserting our poinsettias, look how cute this is, you guys. What we're going to do is we're going to grab our wire cutters and just give all of this a little trim, because we wanna make sure that they don't scratch your door. Also, what you could do is do a felt backing. If you go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, you can always buy some felt and do a round and then just glue it. For the video purpose, I'm just gonna leave it like this so you guys can kind of get an idea. But look, you basically just trim all of these stems that were popping out. It is a little tedious because you have to make sure that every single stem goes into the wreath form. But look how cute this turned out. This one's dancing off right here. And then I'm going to add this other one that fell off right here. Real quick, to make sure that it's pretty full. There you go. So now we're gonna put a wreath right here. How absolutely adorable is that? I love it, it's so cute. So now to make it even more sassy, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring one of these affordable burlap ribbons, and I'm going to start by giving this a little cut like that. And I'm going to do a cute little bow. So I'm going to do as many loops as I can with this bolt of ribbon. Let's see, let's do 2. Look how sweet is this. I'm gonna do 3. We're gonna do 4. We're gonna do 5. So it's a really fluffy bow. We're gonna do 6, like that. And then I'm going to grab my wire that is already pre-taped. And like I always tell you, pull it really tight as you can. And then we're going to make sure that we fluff this sweet bow. It's fluffy and fat the way I like them. Like this. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead. Since that tail was really long, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open where I closed. And then I'm going to grab this end of the tail and I'm going to pull it up here. And now I'm going to wire really strongly. So that's going to give me that loop right there. Well, what I'm going to do is just cut. And so now we have 2 loops instead of 1, and the one facing up. Then I'm going to grab right here and I'm going to insert my bow. I'm going to take it off like this. And remember to spin it around really tightly. And like I told you in the past, you grab the rest of this wire and just swirl them together like this to create this loop. And that's going to be your door hanger right there. And look how absolutely sweet. I'm just going to not dovetail, but cut at an angle, one in, the other one out. And just like that, you got yourself a traditional, super cute Christmas wreath for your front door. What do you guys think? For this next Christmas DIY, what we're going to do is we're going to decorate a full-size Christmas tree on a traditional theme. You guys, traditional theme is my favorite one, so it is my pleasure to bring you this tree. And we're gonna be using this gorgeous velvet ribbon and a beautiful accent ribbon and ornaments. That's about all the things that we're going to be using for this. It's going to be super traditional. But before I get started, I want to let you know that there is going to be a video down below with over 20 Christmas decorating ideas and DIYs. That was last year's Christmas compilation, and there is so many DIYs in that video that I really think you're going to enjoy, for you to continue to be inspired. And also, this is the video that you want to share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp, so they can come and join the fun. Now that I've said all of that, I'm going to get going with this beautiful Christmas tree. And what we're going to do is we're gonna grab our beautiful velvet ribbon, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it. And I also love the texture on this, you guys. It has a lame back, and it is just so beautiful at the touch. It has a great hand. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I wanna use the velvet or the lame, or just, I think I'm gonna alternate them. We'll just decide as we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a little loop. I'm going to cross. I'm going to do another little loop, and then I'm gonna open my bows. So basically like this, and I'm gonna grab me a wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here on the top, and I'm gonna go as far up as I can go, which will be right here. And I'm going to attach to one of my bristles right here, and I'm going to open those bows. Now what I want to do is bring my ribbon. I'm gonna give it a big loop like this. And because this is a really floppy ribbon, what you want to do is just let it hang out like this. And then I'm gonna switch it out, and I'm gonna use that lame back, and I'm gonna do yet another loop with the lame. Grab a bristle and just use it right here, like that. And I'm going to cut right here with a lame, and I'm gonna do a dovetail. This ribbon, you guys, is so pretty, and guess where it was from? Walmart. Walmart really does have a great selection of ribbons this year. Well, I have to be honest, that you have to be really picky and choosy of the ones they have, because they have some ones that are not as pretty as this one, but then you find gems like this where you're like, oh my gosh, I wanna take all the bolts home and just look at them because they're so pretty. Right, so I'm gonna do yet another one right here, and I'm gonna grab my wire. I'm gonna move over to this side, and because I started right here, remember we're gonna do a step ladder motion going down. So we're gonna go over to this side. I'm gonna grab this bristle right here and going all the way in. Then I'm gonna fluff my beautiful ribbon, and now I'm gonna start with the lame. I'm gonna give it that loop. I'm gonna go in, grab a bristle right here. And then I'm gonna do it one more time. but now I'm gonna twist it into the velvet. That is gonna give us so much texture because we are playing with the texture of the ribbon. So I'm gonna go right here like this. And so now I'm gonna grab my scissors and I'm gonna cut right there at a dovetail. What do you think, Jameson? How do you think it's looking?
So far, I'm loving it.
So far, he's loving it. And one more time, you guys, thumbs up for Jameson because he has been so helpful in this particular video. Has been a lot of work because there was so many projects, but Jameson has really stepped up to the game. And so just helping behind the camera really does, and not only behind the camera, you guys, but he helps to fluff and he helps to put the wires on the ornaments, and that is also time consuming, as I'm sure you know. And so really, like I told you before, having that extra set of hands in this particular video and in all the videos, but this particular one with all the projects has been so appreciated. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go one more down right here, and at this point, because I've gotten to this far down into the video, I'm sorry, into the tree. I've gotten so far into the tree. I'm only going to do one loop like this. Grab my bristle and twist it. And remember, we're going to fluff all of this once we're done laying all of these ribbons. And then I'm going to move over to the other side. So basically what you want to do is just use all of your ribbon because you already paid for it. Remember, if you already paid for it, don't be afraid to cut, number one, and don't be afraid to overdo it because it is Christmas. So on Christmas, we go all out and we make our homes look absolutely stunning. I'm gonna grab my wire right here. I'm gonna go over right here to the middle. I'm gonna put one of my bows right here. Look how pretty that red looks against the green. It is my personal favorite. I wish I could do more red and green, but as you guys know, I just like to show you variety. So I always do all these other themes and color schemes to inspire you. But if I could do it all just traditional, I would. Trust me when I tell you that. I'm gonna cut right here. And like I said, what I like about this is like the lame. Look, you swap sides and then you have that velvet, you have a lame right here, you have a velvet right here, you have a lame right here. And the way it really sits on the tree, it is such a gorgeous ribbon. I cannot stress it enough. All right, you guys, well, at this point, I'm going to do a few more loops on this side and on the bottom, and I'll be right back with you to give you the next step. Keep watching. Okay, so I am doing the last bow with this beautiful ribbon, and Jameson did make a great point, you guys. This ribbon is so affordable that you should not be afraid to put it outside because it is so lush and super affordable. So this will look so pretty on your wreath outside, on your garlands outside, on your planterns, even on your mailbox. If you have a mailbox or if you have some planterns outside, don't be afraid to use your good quality ribbon because it really changes the look of your home and your decorating. All right, so I'm gonna do the last one over on this side, up on the top. I'm gonna go all the way here, and I want it to be very pretty. So I'm going to put my ribbon right here. I'm gonna do another loop. I'm gonna attach right here. Now this tree is a 7.5 foot, so you kind of get an idea of how much ribbon you need. Look, and we have enough for a wreath or for a swag or something else. So we're gonna just roll it up. Once we are done with our ribbon, what we're going to do is we're gonna move on to our ornaments, which is always our next step. Remember, I have a 4-step process, which is ribbons first, and then ornaments, all kinds of ornaments. We do after that picks and stems and florals, and after that we do our accent ribbon or accent ornaments, all of the beautiful things that we have as accents. So for this particular tree, because I wanted to stay traditional, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all super big ornaments like these ones. You guys, you can find these ornaments just about anywhere where ornaments are sold. So I'm gonna start right here on the top, and I'm gonna kind of push them in like this. Look how they go into the tree. And remember that we work in a zigzag pattern going down because we're not starting the clusters until we start our next ornament. So I'm gonna add this guy right about here. Then I'm gonna move over to the other side to create that pattern. So we're gonna push another one. And remember, this is a 24 gauge wire, and you can find this type of wire anywhere where you have a florist supplier or even a craft place like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, they should have florist tape and florist wire, so you can always find those there. These are 24 inches and I just cut them into half. Actually no, they're 24, they are, yeah, 24 inches, and you just cut them into 12. So I'm gonna go right here, and I'm going to distribute these ornaments all throughout my Christmas tree because I want this green to really pop off and to be all throughout the tree. So remember to just continue to go on a ladder motion, going down like this. And by putting that wire in there, you make sure that it's secure and it's not going anywhere. Even if this tree was coming down and because you had a kitty cat and just played with it and make sure that it was on the floor, well, the ornaments are not going anywhere if you follow this step of wiring your ornaments. Some of them we're going to hang, but most of these big ones, they need to be wired, not only for security, but also for placement, because by wiring them, you can put them anywhere you want. I'm gonna add one right here, just by switching and turning that wire around. All right, let's see. Where else, Jamison, should I put another? I think I'm gonna put one over on this side. I feel like we need one on this side. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring some gold. We have a few gold ones that we're going to add. Same thing, we're going to grab one of our 24 gauge wire and we are going to put through, you guys, these ornaments are only about $3. Can you believe that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, let's see, I'm gonna add one right here. No, because that would be too, see, if I put one right here, I feel like we're gonna do a line going down. So might as well go upside like this. And then you move to the other side, but you're gonna take a step down. So if I put it right here, I'm gonna go probably right around here. And remember to always, always, always tell on your head, balance is my best friend. And the way you balance it is by doing that step ladder motion. What happens on the right happens on the left, but it doesn't have to happen exactly on the same side of the left. You can always take that step down. You'll see, because now that I'm going to go over to this side again, I'm going to also take a step down and continue my pattern of zigzag. You might wonder, what pattern are you talking, Ramon? Well, the pattern of a zigzag is what we're looking for. So now I'm gonna go over to this side, taking a step down. So I'm gonna put it maybe right around here. And I'm gonna wire it. I have a few more of these gold ones. And so now I need to go over to this side. And you guys, when you see me decorating Christmas trees, you always see me doing that. Going from left to right and from top to bottom. So now I have a last one, and this last one I'm going to put it in the front, but all the way down. And don't forget, you guys, to always distribute your ornaments in threes, because if you have 9 ornaments, you can have 3 for the top, 3 for the middle, 3 for the bottom. That's not only just for your ornaments, but for your picks and your stems as well. If you do that, you always have a really well balanced Christmas tree. And what balance is having the same amounts on the top and the middle and then on the bottom. And then if you are doing all the way around, you know that for the video purpose, we'll only do the front. But if I was doing this for a client and if I wanted all the way around, then I would divide those 9 ornaments and do half for the front, half for the back, and then that half I would divide in 3 so that I can have equal amounts on the top, on the middle, and on the bottom, and I would have the same amount on the front and on the back. So I hope that helps. That's how I do it, and it seems to work for me. All right, so now what I have is this tab right here with all of my other gold smaller ones, and the red ones, but because I already added some gold, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some red, and I'm gonna start with this big one right here. So now I can put that ornament right here because the tree is getting fuller. And so I want to make sure that I have some of that red right here. I'm gonna attach to my bristle with my wire. You remember that in the Midwest days, instead of saying wire, say wire. I have a few friends who are from states where they have that draw, and I just think it's so cool. Sometimes when I get around them too long, then I come back home with an accent. If I'm with my British friends and I have a British accent, after I come home and my family is like, what is wrong with you? Right, so I'm gonna add that right there. And at this point, I have all of these smaller ones right here. And the smaller the ornament gets, the further you can push it outwards. All the big ones we added, they're further in. Now these ones are a little bit more medium size, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring them further into the branch, and I'm gonna add one right here on the top to kind of balance the red. You guys, I'm too short. This is the time that I wish I was at least 2 inches taller. Usually I'm really happy with my height because it's so easy to find jeans, but sometimes when I'm decorating a taller tree, that's when I wish that I was a little bit taller. All right, so now I'm gonna add, look how pretty this is looking with just ornaments. I'll tell you why. It is the color scheme. It is so traditional, it screams Christmas. The green, the red, and the gold. I'm gonna add this one right here.
And also the texture.
And the texture, there's a lot of Christmas with the greenery and the ornaments. All right, so let me see, where else could I add one? I'm gonna add one right here. By adding this one right here, you guys, you'll see what I'm going to do is create this cluster, which is now a focal point because it's getting really tight with ornaments. Now I'm gonna start with these gold ones that are medium size, and I'm gonna start filling in all of these larger gaps. So I'm gonna grab my ornament, twist it right there, and see how that created a bigger, I'm gonna put one right here because I feel like if I add this right here, you'll see what this is going to do. I'm gonna push it in a little bit. I'm gonna put that wire in there and look at that. See how packed that is now with ornaments? I absolutely love this technique, and I know you can recreate it too, but just adding, well, basically a whole bunch of ornaments in that zigzag pattern. Remember to go down doing that motion, and you too can create a gorgeous Christmas tree. Okay, so I'm gonna add this guy right here. And remember the medium size and the larger ones, we want to kind of push into the tree, and then also different textures. Don't be afraid to use the different textures, whether it's a shiny one, a glitter one, or one that is shiny and glitter, because that's what's gonna give us the most bang for our buck. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. Let's see. I'm gonna move over to this side. I'm gonna add, you might not see this one until the end, but if I don't do it now, I'm gonna run out of them and then I won't have any to add. Okay, so I'm gonna add maybe a red one right here. And for this particular ornament, it is better if it sits on the branch of the tree instead of dangling, because we do have some dangling ones coming real quick, but these ones are the ones that you want to make sure that they sit on those branches, like right here. I wanna make sure that it sits on the branch. How pretty. Jameson, what do you think?
I love it.
All right, I have a few more of these gold ones. Let me see, where else could I add another gold one right here? And I think I'm gonna stop right here. I have 4 left, but I'm gonna stop because continuing with the ornaments, I have all of these beautiful ornaments that I'm going to add to this Christmas tree. And these are my favorite. Look at this, you guys. It has that traditional poinsettia and the holly leaves, and then they come in 2 different patterns. This right here and this whole holly. So what I'm going to do with these ones is because they're so light, I'm just basically gonna grab the tips and let them hang as much as I can. Some of them I might have to wire, but look, I'm gonna let it just hang, and that's going to start to create that pushing forward motion with your ornaments like this. I told you this was gonna be so simple and so pretty because it is super traditional, and I just absolutely love it. We have a few more designer-like ornaments that I'll share with you in a second, but these ones, I usually like to wire ornaments, but for this particular one, I'm just gonna let them hang with a little string that has, because look, it just now push from all of this to this. Let's see, I have another one that I'm gonna put over here. This kind of Christmas tree is my Christmas tree because I know that if I can do it, anyone else can. All you have to do is learn a few techniques. Look, because they're not heavy at all. I don't even know what they're made out of, but they're just so light in weight that they don't even need the branch to hold the weight down because there's basically no weight to it. Let me see, I'm gonna put another one right here. Remember to go all the way around. So now what I have is these beautiful holly leaves that are so cute. Look, it has these berries and they dangle. So they're super adorable. So now what I wanna do is,
My favorite.
this is Jameson's favorite because it is so tradish. Look at that. Doesn't that add just that tradish feel to it? I love it. So we're gonna put some of these on the top. Let's see, I'm gonna add one right here. Maybe on this one right here. Let it hang. I think I have half a dozen of this. So we're gonna make sure that, look, just by putting that, the contrast between the green and the red, it just screams holidays. I'm gonna add one right here. Remember to push all of these beautiful designer ornaments towards the front. This one still has half a tag on it, but you know, I've been trying to do a better job to prep all of my work, but sometimes it just escapes me, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna add one right here, hiding that tag. All right, so I have one less of this one right here, and I'm going to add her right here. See how I added the ornaments all throughout, and they just add so much reflection. And you guys, this at night with the lights on, chef's kiss. All right, so now what I have is this other ornament that is made out of glass. It's a poinsettia leaf, and it has all the same traditional colors to it. It is so pretty. It has some jewels in the middle. So what I'm going to do with this one is do the same thing. So just let them hang like this. And at this point it's getting tight, so I have to be very choosy because I do want them to dangle. Look at that. That is one thing that I love about this Christmas tree, is that it has that type of branch that really allows your ornament to just dance because it has so much space. If you guys can see right here, I feel like I can put another one right there. Let's see. Oh, this one doesn't have a string, so I'll have to put a wire on it. Let me see. I kind of want one right here somewhere. It's getting tight in there. All right, let me see. I'm gonna put one right here. That's all of them. Moving on, I'm gonna grab my accent ribbon, and this is what really is going to throw it off the edge. I'm gonna clean up real quick, and I'll be right back with you to give you the last 2 steps. Keep watching. All right, so we have landed at one of my favorite parts, which is to add the accent ribbon. And for that, I chose this beautiful print of a holly leaf with berries, which really reminds me of all of my accents into this Christmas tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut at a dovetail, and this ribbon, you guys, believe it or not, is from At Home. At Home this year really outdid themselves with a ribbon. And you know that for the accent, what I like to do is just get a little loop like this with a tail going up and a tail going down. And then I'm going to find the section where I want it. I'm gonna put my ribbon right there. And then what I do is I let a big tail hang down, and then I dovetail going up. So basically it's just loops, but what this does, it really adds a lot of texture to your tree, and it starts to cover some of those spots that we may have left untouched. So let me show you one more time. So we gather, pinch, twist, we grab our wire, and by the way, we got new wire because we were running. You guys, we go through so much wire. It's actually kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna go right here, and I'm gonna go over to this side. Remember to repeat that pattern of zigzag. I'm gonna attach my bow right here. Then I'm gonna just let it hang out whatever it may, and then I'm gonna dovetail. And look at that. See how that starts to add so much texture? I'm gonna do one more to share with you, and then I'm going to speed this up real quick to add the last step, which should all be our signature step, which is the flyaways. You know that I don't do a Christmas tree without flyaway because, well, it's kind of like my signature. I've came up with that when I worked at the flower shop, and ever since I've been doing flyaways, and I encourage you to do it because it really adds so much texture. And you see that little burlap attached to it, moving in a zigzag motion, it really adds a lot of it. So I'm just gonna speed this up, and I'll be right back. Keep watching. How absolutely stunning this tree is looking, you guys. So traditional, the colors are my favorite, and this step is my favorite. You know, I don't do a Christmas tree without my flyaways. And for this particular tree, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add a gold flyaway, and I'm going to be very, how do I say that when you don't use a lot, Jameson? Very selective of where I place my flyaways, because I don't wanna take away from all of the ornaments. In this tree, what I want is my ornaments to be my showstoppers. And then also that ribbon, you guys, this holly ribbon, it is so pretty. Wait till you see it up close. It is just absolutely stunning. I'm gonna add one right here, and remember to continue to go on that step ladder motion going down. So we're gonna move over to this side right here. We're gonna add one right there. We're gonna add one right here. And as I continue to go down, I also continue to Oop, I dropped an ornament, but it's no problem. You know, sometimes you just have to go there and readjust. That one is the one that Jameson wired. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that Jameson wired that ornament, and that's why it fell off. He's still learning. How do you feel about that, Jameson?
Apparently, I need more instruction.
I'm just kidding. He came up with that joke though. He's like, just tell everyone is the one that I wired, but no, I wired them all. So it's all my fault. All right, so we're gonna stop right here. So now we're going to do a little bit of fluffing, a little bit of rewiring, and I'm gonna give you the end result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, and this is the end result on this beautiful traditional Christmas tree. And I am just so obsessed with the color combination, the close-up of this ornament, you guys. How absolutely stunning is this poinsettia ornament and the holly ribbon with the holly ornament. This ribbon from Walmart is really a good buy. And then also don't forget to monogram your Christmas tree with your family initials, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful holiday season this year. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know which of all the projects is your favorite so far. So what do you guys think? I had so much fun creating all of these Christmas DIYs and decorating ideas for you. Be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know which out of all of them is your favorite. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And then also don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss what's coming next. Keep in mind that there's going to be another video down below with over 20 Christmas decorating ideas and DIYs to keep you inspired to decorate for the holiday season. One last thing, I would really like to thank Jameson for all his help in this video, and I am just so excited that he's here because it would not be possible without him, you guys. The camera work this season has been top notch, and I just want to give him a round of applause. So give Jameson a thumbs up. Is there something you want to say to the public?
This has been so much fun. I've had a blast. Thank you so much, and you're going to enjoy it.
Thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and until next time, you can watch more videos right now. Bye.
Bye.